Hi guys, Mythical here, welcome to the 5th round of the AOR GT3 Pro League, and today I'm at Silverstone. Now, last round at the Nürburgring I finished in 5th position, which was not a bad result, but there was only 5 runners, so it wasn't obviously that good. I didn't have the best of races, I made quite a lot of mistakes, which was pretty annoying, although Nürburgring is not my best track, I've got to admit. It's one of the tracks where I sort of dread going to, and I'm really glad that I got it out of the way. You know, I was a bit unfortunate that I was held behind Meriloso and Macmillan for quite a lot of the race, although I just didn't really have the power out the corners to get past them, which was pretty unfortunate, but I think I've sort of come to get used to that with this RUF car, but that's just the way it goes. This was not meant to be actually the 5th round as well. Brno in the Czech Republic was meant to be the 5th round, but Xbox Live had quite a lot of problems, so we couldn't actually get on to race that race, so that was disappointing. But in a way I think Silverstone's going to be a better track for me than Brno, although I'm not really expecting much really coming into this race. I know I had good pace, I made up about 4 seconds from the start of my practice to getting the final setup on the car, which was pretty good. I started off on the 205s and now I'm sort of in the 201, so hopefully if I can get a 201 in qualifying, that will be the good for me. I think really anything less than a 201, like a 202, will probably be a very poor lap, as my personal best is a 201 too, so if I can get near that, then hopefully it can put me quite far up on the grid. But anyway, coming to the end of the lap, coming into Stowe, turn 15 of this track, knock into gear 3, try and get better. Quite a good turning because this car is not really that responsive, which is a bit annoying because it's not that quick as well, so it's probably one of the worst cars on this grid, but I picked it, so I can't really complain. Anyway, coming out the final corner, which is Club, and I do a 2:01.6, which puts me in 3rd position, the best qualifying of the year for me. 6 tenths off pole, out qualifying the championship leader, so yeah, that was pretty good in my RUF car, which is not really the best of cars, but anyway, hopefully I can have a good result. On the grid now, green light shows, get a poor start, Franglish up ahead, who was the pole sitter, didn't get a good start as well, but I'm already lost 2 positions on the hood, 3 positions now turning in. I lose a little bit the rear there, so I'll go a bit wide, running on half the curb and the grass. It down into P8 now, so really poor start from me. Back up to P7 momentarily as 2 cars come on the back onto the track, so I have to sort of brake a little bit earlier. A little bit of contact there with Macmillan, I believe, but Macmillan is through, so I'm down into 8th position. Lost 5 positions at the start, which was not very good at all. I don't know what happened actually, really. I really don't know why I got a bad start. Maybe it was a bit too cautious heading into turn 1. Anyway, heading into Brooklands now, and I'm going round on the outside line, and Living Dead is on the left hand side. He's took the position as the car lags, and I might have been Wookie Pete, I'm not too sure, but anyway, I've kept 8th position. Living Dead has went from 9th to 7th, and I am now trying to keep up with them guys. But on lap 2, Macmillan is in 7th position now, and looks like I've got a really good exit out of Chapel, so heading down the hanger straight, he's committing to the outside line. I'm going to have the inside line, and I'm going to try and dive it up the inside into Stowe. Got the inside line, and I was actually very pleased with that move. At the time, it was a nice move. He was very fair. It's very hard as well to know when a car's diving up your inside, you know, because you can't really see. This is, as you can see, the cockpit view is not really helpful to see if cars are on your side or not, as 2 cars came together there. I don't know what happened, but I'm into 5th position, and now Blizzard Wizard is all over the shop, and he's going onto the grass, so I'm up into 4th position now as on lap 3 of this race, so it's not too bad actually, considering I had a really bad start. But now Atticus is disconnected, so I'm up into 3rd position, so I'm in a podium place. Hopefully I can keep that position. It's going to be hard. Meriloso is only about 1.4 seconds behind, so I've got to keep building the gap to Meriloso, but also trying to close the gap to Living Dead. But on lap 5, Living Dead loses the car on the curb and up to second position now, so I couldn't believe my luck really when he lost the car. But I've just got to now try and keep consistent lap times, as I think Living Dead drops about 5 or 6 seconds behind me. I think there's a group of 3 cars, Meriloso, Wookie Pete and Living Dead, but on lap 6, the lap after, I just turn in, and then on the exit I lose the car a little bit, and luckily I didn't spin, just lost it, but I just let off the throttle and it only cost me about a second, so it wasn't too bad, as there's only 7 people in this race. And on lap 14 now, as you can see, I'm going to pit in on the end of this lap. The gap to Wookie Pete is 17 seconds, so the pace was actually very good from me and the car. I think I set the car up well. I think it was actually, pretty good. I'm surprised that I had actually really decent pace, considering I don't really like driving this car. To be honest, it's not really enjoyable for me to drive this car. Hopefully next season I can be in a McLaren or a BMW, as to be honest I do feel them cars are more to my liking, as you could say, I suppose. I do feel they're both faster, but it's really depending on the driver who's driving it, so. But for me, I feel more suited to them 2 cars, as they're more responsive. But anyway, on lap 26, the gap to Shaw was about 17 seconds, but on lap 27, something really weird happened to Shaw's car. It lifted him up in the air, he spun as well, and it cost him about 13-14 seconds. So at this time I was thinking, if he just makes a mistake I could actually win this race. But on the last lap now, I was really pushing hard. You can see going into this corner I went way too deep, trying to get everything out of the car, but unluckily for me he managed to keep first position. He drove a really good race as well. The gap was always about 17 seconds. I think he led really from the word go as well, from the start, so he did a really good job to win the race. I think, to be honest, it was a shame there was only 4 people that finished the race, which was disappointing. I think it sort of takes the credit out of people who finished, because for me, it was the best performance of my season. I know Watkins Glen got 3rd, but I think obviously I was a little bit lucky, but Watkins Glen I was a little bit more lucky than today, because I was about 6th on pace, but as you saw in qualifying I had really good pace, and in the race I had decent pace compared to Shaw. I wasn't losing time on him, I was sort of keeping up with him, so it was a very pleasing race. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Until next time, for the last round in Brno, thanks for watching and goodbye.